told you we was going to have more Amityville, and now we got Amityville A.I. Now, the most interesting thing I'll say about this up front, I'm going to do a video over this, a separate video over this, because I just now noticed that some of the new SRS cinema releases are actually DVD-Rs. As you can see here, if I can pull this thing out of here. Not that, there's anything really wrong with that. I just know, so you can see, the blue there to show you it's DVD-R. I'm going to do a video about it. Not that anything's really wrong with that, because when they're professionally done, and this is professionally done, they're pretty good. I'll save it for the video, but I was surprised that some of the new SRS DVDs are DVD-R. I didn't know that before. I guess I didn't pay attention or whatever, but I'm going to do a video about that, but that's neither here nor there. The other thing interesting about Amityville A.I. is it is directed by, what's his name? Matt, Jasel. I believe that's how it's pronounced. Jasel. And if you don't recognize that, which he's done a few different movies, but particularly he did one that Massacre Video released called Back from Hell, which was pretty interesting. So yeah, it is kind of cool that he did that and he did this, as it seems like everybody's kind of getting in on the Amityville train, especially over at SRS Cinema. This one here is the guy moving to a new house to finish developing his breakthrough artificial intelligence program, FIC 3000, which I'll go ahead and say now if you couldn't tell there. Very HAL from 2001: A Space Odyssey influence. The only problem is that the house is possessed, and now so is the program. What begins technology designed to make our lives easier has transformed into satanic force, hellbent in making our deaths ghastlier. Hellbent on making our deaths ghastlier, I should say. But yeah, it's okay for what it is. Okay, when you see something like this, you probably know what you're getting ahead of time. So therefore, you're probably not going into this expecting a 5-star extravaganza. The only thing I'll say about it, it kind of drags. It's like 70 minutes long, basically. And it's barely 70 minutes long. But the problem with it is it really does drag its feet at first. When you hit the last 20 minutes of it, it's kind of like when it hits its best portion of it. And even then, you're going to have to really like movies that are cheap and bad to enjoy what you're going to see. One neighbor particularly has some AI in his house. He keeps saying he has AI in his house, and it's like a sex robot basically. And that movie would probably be a little more interesting than this movie, although we've seen that movie recently with the Megan Fox movie that came out. We've seen that on a much bigger level. But regardless, I do find it impressive the way they keep finding ways to shoehorn different scenarios into the Amityville atmosphere to make movies about it. At one point, they do reference turkeys killing somebody on, Thanksgiving in Amityville. So it kind of cross promotes a little bit. I think that's a reference to the Amityville Turkey Day movie. So it's kind of a universe at this point, which is kind of interesting, since I think they're actually making an Amityville universe anthology film with a lot of these same directors in it. But, obviously it hacks in. There's cheap effects. It kills people that's on their side of a computer screen. It hacks into devices. It hacks into, chainsaws and whatnot, and causes deaths, which nothing's really gruesome. There's not really no gore effects here, just some blood through and stuff. But it is what it is. There's some funny moments. Probably a lot of this is probably funnier if you're watching it with people that's, drunk. So it's one of those type of movies. But one thing I will say, I'll give him props on, is there is a scene where our lead guy is kind of like messing around with the chainsaw, and it looks to be the real deal. It doesn't look gimmicked. So he did risk losing some phalanges to make this movie. So yeah, we'll give him props for that. But at the end of the day, it's still just your latest in a gigantic, never-ending tale of Amityville. And this one, it's a 2 out of 5. It's okay. It's watchable. It's not great. Some of the performances are a little dry. Our main guy looks like he's trying to win an Oscar at the end, but it kind of comes across a little bit weird since we're in this kind of movie, so it kind of seems out of place. But he's giving it all he's got. It just seems a little bit cringy. But hey, cringy ain't always a bad thing when it comes to movies like this. But this is available from SRS Cinema. You have English captions. You have commentary. You have a whole bunch of trailers before the movie starts. But Amityville A.I. is available now. DVD-R, though, so beware if that's a problem. And, yeah, if you've seen it, let me know what you think.